Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of the new action comedy starring Josh Hartnett, Fight or Flight. This film has Josh Hartnett as a mercenary who's tasked with a job on an airplane. This is kind of a new type of film for Josh Hartnett. We haven't seen Josh Hartnett in a just balls to the wall action movie. At least nothing comes to mind. So it was good to see him in this type of role, something that he's never done before. And it's cool, because we're kind of in this renaissance of Josh Hartnett as of late. He popped up in Oppenheimer, did a great job in that. Trap, even though Trap wasn't all that good, but Josh Hartnett was excellent in it. The movie just fell flat to me. And so lately we've been getting a lot of Josh Hartnett, and I'm here for it because I've always enjoyed Josh Hartnett. I remember years ago when he was in consideration for Superman, and that didn't go through. And then at one point he was in consideration for Batman, and he declined. Actually, it was the Christopher Nolan, the Dark Knight trilogy. Christopher Nolan wanted Josh Hartnett instead of Christian Bale. But once Josh Hartnett turned it down, it went to Christian Bale. Now, Christian Bale did an awesome job, so I'm not mad at it, but I would have loved to have seen Josh Hartnett as Bruce Wayne Batman. I think he was born for that, but it seems like that ship has left the port for him. But it's all good. Uh, we do get to see him in some action, and this film, Fight or Flight, is a just turn your brain off action movie. There's no substance. It's all action. It's disguised as this kind of a John Wick style action film. It's not really that. That's the subgenre now. Action movies always go through these little periods where it's a subgenre that just takes over Hollywood and all these action movies. When Die Hard came out in the 80s, every action movie had to be like Die Hard. When Lethal Weapon came out in the 80s, every action movie had to be a buddy cop action film. And when The Matrix came out, every action movie had to have kung fu and slow motion and wire work and all this other stuff. It's just a period. It's an era that Hollywood just copies itself, And when John Wick came out, now we're getting all of these John Wick style action movies where we get these actors in these situations where you never seen these actors be this much of a badass in a movie, but here we are. Some are good, some not so good. Well, most of them not so good. None of them can be John Wick. None of them are Keanu Reeves. God bless him. He is John Wick, and he's doing it well. Um, on the flip side of that, we do have some good ones, and I like Josh Hartnett in this role. Um, this movie is far from perfect. Like I said, it's turn your brain off. If you go in there looking for something, you're gonna get your feelings hurt very, very quick. Um, this is just go for the action. There's nothing else to enjoy about this, except for Josh Hartnett, because I appreciate Josh Hartnett really committing to this role. He fully committed, and God bless him for it, because this is a campy, just silly, cheesy at times action movie. It's a mixture of Passenger 57 with, I guess, a little John Wick and Bullet Train. If I had to make a baby out of it, see who the parents are of this movie. Yeah, the parents are Passenger 57 and Bullet Train, I guess you could say. It's fine. It's fine if it's a Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon, nothing on. You just want to sit down and chill. You've cut your grass, washed your car, and whatever, fed the dog, and you just want to sit down and chill, and you're looking for something to chill and watch. Fight or Flight is it. This is the movie for you. This movie's directed by James Madigan, and I think this is his first film. He's worked on movies before behind the scene. I don't know if it was stunt performer or whatever. I can't find nothing on this dude. I tried looking him up to see what else he's done, but I can't find nothing on him. Whatever, but yeah, he directed this. If it's his first directorial effort, which all accounts show that it is, he did a decent job. I actually liked how he filmed this. We're in a claustrophobic area here because we're on a plane. There's not so much you can do on a plane, so you had to find innovative ways to film fight sequences and shootouts, and make this movie stretch for 90 minutes, because you're in this confined area for the majority of the film. So I think he did an excellent job with that. Where it fails at is the story. The story is so basic and been done before. We've seen this movie a million times before. So when you faced with a situation like that, you got to do something different. You got to bring something different to the table. And I don't feel this movie really brought anything different. Not to say that it was bad what they did bring. Yes, we've seen it before, but it was done well. Nothing was done bad. I'm super impressed with the way the fight choreography went in this film involving Josh Hartnett. And I keep saying his name. If we were playing a drinking game and you got to take a shot every time I say Josh Hartnett, you're probably drunk by now, but he's the star of the movie. I mean, come on. I, I haven't seen him perform stunts like that or fight choreography like this in any other movie he's been in. And so I was like shocked and surprised and impressed by that. And the other performers, I'm assuming all stunt performers and everybody else who was sharing the screen with him, really helped him out, made him look good. Yeah, in the end, in the third act, it got silly. I mean, it got super silly. Yes, this movie does not take itself seriously by no stretch of the imagination, but it just got way too silly in the end, with the fights. Cool fights, cool little kills and all this here, but it was just utterly ridiculous what took place in the third act of this movie. But overall, I had a fun time watching Fight or Flight. I mean, I wasn't expecting much, and that's pretty much what I got. Not much. So kudos on that. Fight or Flight, which stars Josh Hartnett, gets a letter grade of a C minus. Yeah, it's decent. I mean, it's watchable. It's nothing offensive to the eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that's gonna make you go away and be like, "Oh my God, it's the worst movie I ever saw." If you want to compare it to a recent airplane film involving action of any sorts, Flight Risk, which came out earlier this year with Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson directed. That movie was horrible, and that whole film took place on the plane, and it was a small plane, and that movie was 2 hours long. So at least Fight or Flight took place on a commercial airline. You had a lot more room to play than you did with Flight Risk. But overall, I did enjoy it. I had a good time with it. Like I said, it's just one of those movies that you'll probably watch a couple of times because this is one of those movies that's gonna pop up every now and then, whether you on streaming or on television or whatever, because it's one of those type of movies, that'll pop up and you'll watch over and over again and enjoy it, because it's fun. It's a fun time. Turn your brain off. Give your real world problems a break for an hour and a half. Perfect movie for it. I would love to know, what do you think about Fight or Flight? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Are you excited to see Josh Hartnett in an action movie? And do you wish he would do more action movies? I actually walked away from this wishing and hoping that he does more action movies, actually more serious action movies as opposed to this, some with some substance because he's an excellent actor. And I would love to see him in a role that has a little more meat on the bones. But I would love to know your thoughts. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Fight or Flight. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.